$400,000 was appropriated in the 2015 budget for this project, and based upon an estimate that was prepared by Choice One Engineering and approved by ODOT District 7. And however, the ODOT Central Office recently revised the estimate, increasing the city's estimated local cost to $504,100. A supplemental appropriation ordinance for the additional $104,100 will be considered for adoption by council this evening.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 15-R-35 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayler, second by Councilman Gerhardt, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-35 as presented. Are there any comments? And I do believe if indeed the amount comes in at a lower, we will be reimbursed for any amounts that we may have paid that were not needed. Is that true?
Correct. If the project comes in under budget, again, a percentage, based on a percentage, some of those funds will be returned to the city.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bussman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Farris?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Resolution 15-R-36, Mr. McDonald.
15R36, a resolution appropriating funds for ODOT project MOTIR 7522.73 regarding a new traffic signal at the ramp intersection of Interstate Route 75 northbound and Northwoods Boulevard, and authorizing the city manager to enter into contracts with the Director of Transportation regarding the project.
Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this final resolution does authorize a contract with ODOT for the construction of a traffic signal at the northbound ramp of I-75 and Northwoods Boulevard. We budgeted $45,000 in the 2015 budget for this project, again, based upon an estimate by Choice One that was approved by ODOT District 7. Central Office in this project has also revised the estimate up for the project, requiring an additional $11,212.50 from the city. In this case, a supplemental appropriation is not necessary for this project, as we currently have sufficient funds appropriated in the Capital Improvement Fund to cover those additional costs.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 15-R-36.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Bressman, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-36. And I know that we discussed this in our workshop, and at that time, I asked about when it would be completed, and there was some indication that we might see signs of some work, but that does not necessarily mean that it's going to immediately be erected. Is that true?
That is correct. First of all, there's at least a 12-week delay back order on ordering the mast arm poles for the signal. And again, so there's no guarantee that the project would be completed this fall. That's really going to be up to the contractor and the weather.
Okay, but people might see some action and then stopped, and then some action and then stopped as a possibility.
Correct.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that as far as this goes, sometimes it's kind of frustrating because we're paying some money, but we don't have control over the schedule. So by my observation, sometimes up there, we need this thing now, but we're not going to get it now. So we're just asking for patience, I guess, and hopefully they'll get it as soon as they can.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Bussman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Farris?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have an ordinance in its first reading, and that is 15-07.
Ordinance 1507, an ordinance to rezone the properties located at 3669 Weiss Road and 6661 Homestretch Road, being parcels B020120500014 and B020120500012, and amending the zoning map of the city.
Thank you. Do you hear the echoes?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
This is Mr. Gursey.
Thank you, Your Honor. Spirit Life Church has submitted an application to rezone two parcels located at the northwest corner of Weiss Road and Homestretch Road from agricultural to office industrial park. The properties in question are surrounded by office industrial park zoning to the north, south, and west, and industrial to the east. There is an existing single-family residence on the property, and the property owner is aware that the residence would become a non-conforming use upon the rezoning of the property because residential uses are not permitted in the office industrial district. However, the purpose of the rezoning is to market the property for future redevelopment, so the long-term viability of the single-family residence is not a concern.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 15-07 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Forrest, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve ordinance 15-07 in its first reading. Any comments from council? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. We do have an ordinance in its second reading, and that's 15-06. Mr. McDonald.
Ordinance 1506, an ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during the calendar year ending December 31, 2015, and amending Ordinance 14-34.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this ordinance would amend 2015 appropriations as follows. In the general fund, an additional $104,100 to account for additional funds necessary for Phase 5 of the streetscape project. In the Employee Retirement Reserve Fund, an additional $650,000, and that's to account for a 27th pay in 2015 that was not anticipated when the budget was prepared. In the Capital Improvement Fund, an additional $104,100, and again, that's to account for the additional funds necessary for the Streetscape Phase 5 project. In the Police Fire Street CIP Fund, an additional $5,900, and that's to appropriate funds for the design of the Fieldstone Way or the Fieldstone Way extension. In the Street Fund, an additional $46,500, and that's to appropriate funds for the replacement of damaged guardrails and light poles and mast arm poles that are damaged due to automobile accidents. The city will be reimbursed by private insurance companies for insured motorist accidents and by Maverma, the city's insurance company, for uninsured motorist accidents. An additional $3,500 in the Street Fund as well, and that's for consultant services related to an audit of licensed and permissive motor vehicle taxes on cars and semi-tractors.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open up a public hearing. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment about this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and give us your comment? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 1506 in a second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we do approve ordinance 15-06 in its second reading. Are there comments from council? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Brusman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have no ordinances as emergencies, and that gives us the reports from our boards and commissions. And we have the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board minutes from February the 24th. We have the Planning Commission minutes from February the 24th. The Golf Advisory Board minutes of March the 23rd. Planning Commission minutes of March the 24th. Do you have any comments about any of those? Seeing that, I will go on, and the bill listing for March 2015 is in the amount of $3,073,869.43. And that brings us to our council comments. Mr. McDonald?
Nothing today,
Okay. Mr. Cruzy?
I have nothing additional this evening.
Okay. And I begin with Councilman Bressman.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Councilman Ayers?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Blakesley?
Yes, I'd like to thank those folks, Mr. Shirley, Mr. McAtee, Mr. Pelfrey, Follick, and Mr. Courtney for coming forth and being part of the charter review. And I know that when our forefathers started the charter for the city of Vandalia, that they, just like the forefathers of our country, had certain ideas in their minds as far as how things should be. However, I think time may have set it back a ways in the idea that it's a dynamic document, and things today may apply that didn't apply before. So I appreciate those 5 going through the charter and looking at what things may or may not apply today with the assistance of our law director, and bring it to current standards, as well as thank Denny Dyer for coming forward for the Planning Commission. I know that we rely on the Planning Commission quite a bit for those items that come before us, so that we can make good decisions, and they give us good information to help make those good decisions. Additionally, I'd like to make a motion that we excuse Councilman Lewis from all workshops, council meeting, and special meeting for tonight.
Second. It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we do excuse Councilman Lewis from our council meeting and also from the special council meeting that we will be adjourning to.
In the work session.
And the and the work session. Thank you. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's for our records. Then we go to Councilman Gerhart.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Just a thank you to the volunteers who, Mike mentioned their names, but it's great to see people come forward and be willing to put that amount of effort into things that we need in the city, and I thank them all. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, and I have nothing this evening, so this meeting is adjourned. I'm now opening up the special council meeting. We're calling that to order, and that meeting is to adjourn to executive session. For the purpose of the executive session is to consider the employment, discipline, promotion, or compensation of a public employee, more specifically matters relating to the performance evaluation of the city manager. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Was that Blakesley?
Yes.
Okay. It was moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we adjourn to executive session. Roll call.
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Faris?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passed 6-0, so we will be adjourning to our executive session.